right, Miles, it's that time of the year again. All the major offseason moves have been made. It's time to evaluate how some of these new additions are looking so far in their teams. And one of the teams that was really active this offseason was the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously trading Tyreek Hill and adding in new offensive weapons to surround quarterback Patrick Mahomes. And one of those weapons has made a big splash and has drawn some really high praise so far with his time with the Chiefs. And I know you've got the story on that. Before we get into that, we want all the Chiefs fans below comment which wide receiver do you think Pat Mahomes will rely on the most this season? Let us know who you think his favorite target will be in the comments from the wide receiver position. But Myers, what's the latest out of Kansas City?
Yeah, Nick, according to Nate Tyler of The Athletic, Marquez Valdes-Scantling has actually kind of stood out at OTAs and minicamp as like a big time deep threat, good target, quality target for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Scantling, who's 27, never really got to shine in Green Bay because Devontae Adams was obviously there. That's Rodgers' big target. But he was having over 30 catches a season, not like horrible in that offense. But the Chiefs saw something in Scantling. They brought him over, that 3-year, $30 million deal. They had a lot of faith in him, and he has seen a lot of reps in practice and OTAs and minicamps, and he has shined with those reps. And I think that Scantling is going to be a pretty big target for Mahomes this season. What do you think?
Yeah, so Scanlon kind of surprised me a little bit because I kind of thought of him as, maybe a deep threat that basically was, or, maybe not even deep threat, just another receiving option for Rodgers that kind of hit under the radar. But I really went back and looked at his stats. Scanlon averaged 17 yards per catch in his career so far as time as Green Bay. That's huge. That's among the best in the NFL. Then I went back and looked at some of his highlights with his time with Packers. He is always open. Rodgers obviously throws a good football, but Scantling was smoking people, and it's all about his ability to get separation and run good routes. And that's something that I really, picked up on with a lot of the Chiefs' moves this offseason. And I know you have some of the specifics there regarding their old strategy versus their new strategy at the wide receiver position.
Yeah, Nick. So we did some digging, and as people can see, the Chiefs kind of had done a overhaul on the offensive mindset from last year to this year. And if we go back and look at what they had last year, the last few years rather, when they had Pringle, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, guys like that, it was all about speed, speed, speed. Get away from defenders before the catch as fast as you can, and leave them in the dust once you catch the ball. Big time speed, yards after catch. Getting tons and tons of speed to just kind of make defenders look silly. And those guys, especially Tyreek Hill, were excellent at that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, because this was back when teams, didn't do the old drop 8 or 2 deep safety looks that you and I have talked about how teams play the Chiefs now, where basically with the speed that these guys had at wide receiver position, they could just run to daylight, either away from defenders or to open zones. But teams have countered, right? They've started to clog up. They drop a lot of people in coverage to clog up some of those zones, and it makes it really hard for these speed guys to find room to run. So the Chiefs very smartly made a counter strike to their strategy. So what's the latest there?
Yeah, Nick. So the Chiefs have gone from superstar speed runners to more of the solid, bigger body, taller, dependable wide receivers, as I would call them. Guys that can get separation. Guys that can do contested catches, win the one-on-one matchups. A guy that he may look covered, but he's open. I think of these guys, like, obviously, we have Juju and you got MVS. But other guys these are almost like your Mike Evans type of receivers, kind of guys like that. And that's the more focus that they have gone to, I believe, in this new offense. Don't you think?
Yeah, you can see it. And the other guy there on the screen is Justin Ross, the guy who may be a big time steal. That guy's a free agent out of Clemson. And all these guys, if you play a zone coverage or a scheme like that, these guys have the route running ability, the quickness in some cases like Juju Smith-Schuster, or the ability to separate like MVS or Justin Ross, who can win, high point win footballs. All these guys can win one-on-one matchups and tight, close, competitive, one-on-one combat with the defensive back. That was kind of their struggle at wide receiver when they played with their speed game. These guys will win those matchups, and it will force defenses to go out of those really, soft dropping zone coverages. Because it doesn't matter if you got a receiver who can body up and get some separation on a corner, or can win those one-on-one matchups in close quarters. It doesn't matter how many people you drop in a zone, because they'll just complete the ball anyway. So this is a really, really good counter stroke that the Chiefs have come up with to counter how teams have started to play Pat Mahomes in this offense.
Oh yeah, and I mean, if you just look at the stats, you got guys like MVS, guys like Justin Ross, who are like 6'4",
Yeah.
Juju's over 6'1", and then you look back, Tyreek Hill's 5'10".
Yeah.
The taller guy on that team was Byron Pringle, and he was like he's just 6'1", and he's one of the taller guys on the team, receiver wise, and now that's like the shortest receiver that they have in Juju, but I think going to this offense, like you said, is going to be a little bit easier for Patrick Mahomes. It's going to take some of the pressure off of him to those timing, that speed and timing routes. They take time to develop, where now these guys are going to, even when they're covered, they're open. You can kind of throw it up a little bit more. You don't have to do so much of the scrambling. It gives you a chance to, develop a little bit better offensive scheme, a more consistent scheme, I think. Which I think that's what the Chiefs are doing. That's what everybody does as they get older. You might want to be more flashy, more speedy, quick when you're younger. But as times get older, consistency is key. Having something that you're comfortable doing day in and day out that you feel works for you. So I think that's what the Chiefs see. And as Patrick Mahomes matures, that's what they're going to go for. All right, Nick, it's time to get your internet privacy back today on every device you own in any country you want. Don't let anyone but you control your internet. NordVPN keeps you safe from prying eyes wherever you go online with their military-grade encryption. Is your favorite Netflix or streaming content blocked in the US? You can simply connect to one of the many countries available with NordVPN and get the access you need.
That's right, Maya. So right now, get our exclusive NordVPN deal here at nordvpn.com/SMI. It's risk-free now with NordVPN's 30-day money-back guarantee. Again, get that exclusive deal, nordvpn.com/SMI.